Hey everybody, coming at you live just from Fargo, North Dakota today. We are the Leeds Geeks. Joining me as always, Mr. Eric Haig, Jim Renfro, Ryan Dorheim. Unfortunately, Pete is not with us today. I think he's shooting a commercial for Just for Men. Jim, what are we doing today? Why is it important?
Oh, sorry, I had to compose myself there. So today we're going to do some expired calls. So this is one of our biggest bread and butters in the ISA world. So Ryan has volunteered to be on the hot seat today. He hasn't done too many expired calls. Typically, that's me and Pete, Eric, and Cody doing them a lot of times. So he is going to do one today. And what I've also said is we're probably going to take the gloves off a little bit. We're going to be a little harsh with our criticism today because that's the only way people get better. So Ryan is actually going to call me. I have one of those role-playing cards in front of me. And so basically, I'm going to play that person's disc profile, occupation, things like that. So Ryan, let me grab one other one real quick here because this is actually one from yesterday. So give me 2 seconds. And I'm ready whenever you are.
All righty, cool beans. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Super. All right. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Jim.
Yeah.
This is Ryan Dorheim with Hatch Realty calling.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so yeah, I was just cruising through and noticed that your property had expired. Looks like a nice property here. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, it didn't sell.
Okay. How come you don't think it's sold?
I'm not sure. Looks like it's a nice place.
All right. Yeah, it was on the market for a few days there. Actually, a number of days, about 103 or so. Again, flipping through the pictures here, usually we say it boils down to price, condition, or marketing. Which do you think of those it is?
Well, I mean, we priced it pretty aggressively, and the conditions are really good. So, I mean, I think it was probably the marketing.
Okay. You said you priced it aggressively, and you're open to sell. Was there a specific timeline you needed to sell by, or?
I wanted to have it sold already.
Okay.
I need to get it sold so I can move down to Florida.
Okay. Do you already have a place down in Florida, or is this?
Yeah, I already have one.
Okay, so you're carrying 2 mortgages then?
No, this one. I mean, they're both paid off.
Oh, I understand. So for marketing, what was done to your understanding to help market your house?
The normal stuff.
Okay. What do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I was an agent for a couple of years down in Florida. So I mean, they took decent pictures. They put it on the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
They had a couple opens.
Okay. All right. Well, and I kind of hear that quite a bit too. If you think it's the market, I always say it's either, you can blame it on the market, but sometimes it boils down to the marketing. Do you know if it was, on any radio shows or anything like that, or?
No, don't really know.
Okay. All right. Are you still interested in selling the property again?
Yep, still need to get sold. I'm actually interviewing 2 other agents.
Okay. Are you under a contract right now, or are you just looking for?
Nope, contract expired. I'm just looking for someone to get it sold ASAP.
Okay. All right. What do you do for a living?
I'm retired. I said that already, Ryan.
Nope. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. That'd be my fault. All right. We know what we've done for a lot of folks here is, especially after being so long, you said you're interviewing agents. Would it be of value to you to sit down with our agent to hear what we're going to do differently?
Well, I mean, tell me what you can do differently, Ryan.
Well, a lot of realtors just kind of, place that sign and place on MLS and then pray. And I'm just kind of curious if, you said some of the standard stuff was done with marketing. So I was just trying to get a better understanding of, what you thought was done. Just flipping through the pictures here. I mean, it's a gorgeous house and it is priced to move. So I guess I'm a bit floored, but, to me that, we spend a lot of money on marketing ourselves just to make sure properties get sold. So, I mean, we could also look at, doing radio shows or, gosh, this property is nice enough where we could probably even look at, connecting up with having it published in a magazine or something like that. Is that something that would be different or sound different from what's been done already?
Yeah, I mean, if it gets it sold,
Okay.
I mean, I'm concerned. I mean, they're both paid off, and I mean, I'm also concerned on price too. I mean, So that's why I'm interviewing other people.
Okay. How was the price? How did you come up with the price last time? You said it was priced aggressively.
We went basically 10% off what the comp said.
Okay. All right. You said you need to get that sold rather quickly. Is that do you think that you'd be of value to sit down and interview with my agent to figure out where we need to go for the next steps?
Let's pause there.
Okay.
So Ryan, what went well? What didn't go well?
You know, I really struggled because, and this is just me being forthright and honest. And it's like, you already have the place. You gave me the information. I was really struggling as far as where to go next to be able to not only show the value of what we can do differently, but also you're in that process of interviewing other agents. So you're searching for something different, for something else. I just didn't know how to, continue to pull out. When it kind of said, and I totally missed it too, when you said that you were retired. I was trying to get more personal with you. It just didn't feel like it was there. So, yeah, that's where I was at with it.
Cody, what was your feedback?
So let me double check my notes here. One of the things I noticed throughout the whole call is you weren't really going deep. Everything was very, very narrow. You kept it too related around the house. Through that whole call, you don't know why he's going to Florida. And that's like right away. That was one of the biggest ones for me. You have no idea why he's moving. You just know that he is moving and that he needs to get this place sold. But, without going deeper, you focus too much on tell me about the place. Here's how I can do a better job or do something different. But you didn't actually get down into the meat and bones of, well, what is going on in your life? Why are you moving to Florida? Why do why is this a pretty sudden move? We have no idea. Sometimes you expected him to have answers that he probably wouldn't have had. Some of the marketing questions, I think, some of them, you could have went deeper on some and not as deep on some of the other ones. Like I say, you kind of expected him to have a lot of answers that he might not have had. So maybe check that out a little bit. But one of the biggest ones, I think the two big points that I took away is that you needed to go a little bit deeper. And you were talking circles around yourself. Yep. In a lot of instances, I noticed, especially going for the close way too early. When we didn't have that rapport built in, there wasn't that common understanding, and then that he backed off of that close, and then you kind of circled back one or two questions later, and it was a little too sudden. So.
Okay.
It was a tough call. That was not Jim didn't take it easy on you.
No.
Expireds are hard calls. So.
But that really was reality, and that's what I was trying to get at with Jim. I didn't know if I was getting a bit more of the push from the D side, where I just need to get out of his way, or where to go. So I felt like I really struggled with that one. Good feedback.
Yeah, Eric, what was your feedback?
Question for you, Ryan. When he answered the phone, what did you think he was as far as disc profile?
Originally, I thought he started off with a C.
Okay. And then what did he change to?
It seemed to be a bit more of that D, that he was just upset that the property didn't sell. He needed to get stuff done.
Did you mirror and match the D when he kind of sped things up?
I don't felt like I matched it. I really struggled with the questions.
Okay, good. Yeah, I noticed the same thing. As soon as he answered, I said, oh, Jim's going for the awkward C. And then he sped it up and was getting really aggressive. I would disagree with Cody on that you went for the close too soon and say you didn't go soon enough. You did need to find out the why going to Florida, but that he wants to sell. That he's interviewing other agents and all that. I mean, leave that up to the agent to tell them what we're going to do differently right when they're meeting. That was the big question too that you started really rambling on.
Yep,
I felt it. Yep, when he said, "What would you do differently?" And there's a lot of awkward silence throughout there, and I think that came from your confidence. And with the power of the video chat, we can see that manifest itself as you're rocking back and forth, and I could feel your nervousness, both in your voice and seeing you on the video. So. The confidence will come with time as you do more of those calls and encounter more high D personalities. It's something that's definitely one of my weaknesses, but that's my feedback. Jim, I'd love to hear your opinion on whether or not he went for the close too soon or not soon enough.
I think it was too soon. I think, Ryan, if you would have done a couple of things, if you would have said, why Florida? And really explored the why, then yeah, it would have been fine because I was a little bit quicker. I obviously am interviewing other people. I need to sell. However, if you're interviewing other people, it's very easy for us to say, oh, they're interviewing other people. There's a need. We need to just get in there. That's really dangerous because how are you going to differentiate yourself from those other people on the front end and actually make it so they don't sign a contract if they meet with those other two people first? So what I had written down is you close too quick.
Okay.
You really didn't get to the pain points. You know, why are you selling? Why are you going to Florida? The why. You said at one point, yeah, we spend a lot of money on marketing. I don't really think people care how much money we're spending on marketing if it's not going to sell their house.
Oh,
So I think a better thing to say would have been, you know, we do a lot of different marketing. What do you think is important to get your house sold? What would you have liked to have seen your agent do differently?
pain points.
Really bring up those pain points and find out what they need, because obviously that's how we can then deliver our message. If they don't want open houses, us saying, hey, we can have an open house every weekend isn't going to seal the deal. But if their agent didn't have any open houses and they think open houses sells houses, which we all know it doesn't, it brings us buyers, but it doesn't bring us buyers usually more than 1 or 2% of the time for that specific house. But if that's what that client needs, we'll do it. Your whole end of that call to me turned into you selling because you didn't ask enough questions. And so I think the big thing is ask questions. Even if it's just to reiterate, oh, hey, you're going to Florida. Why are you going to Florida? Oh, you're going to Florida for kids? Oh, well, how many grandkids you got? Oh man, so what's that going to do for you and your family if you go to Florida and you have more time with them? Even if they're a D, just rephrasing it really quick. Oh, what's that going to do for you to be down in Florida? How's that going to affect your family? Gosh, how's it affecting you now? Things like that are really going to help seal that rapport and build that rapport and really make them want to sit down with you a lot more effectively than saying, hey, we have great marketing.
Yeah, good point.
So that would be my feedback on that. Anybody got any other feedback?
Actually, Jim, if you don't mind, I want to follow up on something you just said, because I know Eric and I kind of had some, you know, a little bit of dissension there as far as like when to close. So to follow up on that feedback, because I can see where Eric's coming from. And mentally, like I hit that block sometimes where I don't know where that right point is, where, okay, I've collected enough information or I feel, you know, connected enough to move forward with this. Like, do you have any feedback, you know, kind of in that area? Like when is the right time in a call like this? And especially with expireds, I feel that a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, with I's, S's, and C's, you know, we're always looking for, you know, 8+ minutes, you know, ideally 10+ minutes on a conversation, and then closing it up with a D. And, you know, people that say they need, and they obviously need to meet right now. You know, you could close things in 5-6 minutes if you're really popping and really going back and forth, finding all the information. So the things that we always look for right off the way is what's their motivation, what's their timeline, do they have an agent? In that medium part, we're trying to find out their family details, their occupation, recreation, you know, what they actually want in that house, what they actually, you know, what they want from an agent. If they're an expired, that's especially good because they're going to tell you everything they expected. And if you can deliver on that, then really they're just giving you all the ammo in order for you to close. And then from there, it's really just sealing the deal and building rapport. And on all these calls, the one thing I think you guys are going to notice between really good ISAs and good ISAs is the really good ISAs are only talking maybe 5-10% of the time. The rest of the time they're asking questions and then follow-up questions and going deeper and deeper with those questions. So, you know, if you guys want, we can do another call. Have one of the other guys give me a call or give Ryan a call and we can critique it. Or I can do an expired call too. Doesn't really matter.
Jim, would you mind doing an expired call? I'd like to hear what it's like now that we've had a little bit of that feedback. I want to hear what it's like on your side.
Yeah, definitely. Which one of you guys wants to be the caller or the person being called?
I can do it if you want.
Eric, you want to come to my room real quick and grab a couple cards? All
Sure.
right, sounds good. So while we're doing this, Eric's just going to grab a couple cards and let me know when he's ready.
Oh, these are huge.
What is going on?
You guys are funny.
We do have to joke around a lot since we're all serious all day on the phone. So
I've been here the whole time.
So Eric's
Oh, my
just going
goodness.
through. He's going to grab a couple cards. We'll just go through the process again. When he's doing this, basically, he's looking for a seller card. And then he's pulling out a personality. So I don't know the personality that he's going to pick out. And I have to do a really good job mirroring and matching not only the personality, but asking them the right questions. Because there might be red flags. Maybe this is an expired call, but it's priced ridiculous and it's never going to sell. And the person's not willing to come down. So, Eric, you almost ready over there?
Yep. Cool bands.
All right. Well, Ryan, if you want to mute your phones, we'll start this off. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Eric?
Yep.
Hey,
Who is this?
it's Jim with Hatch Realty.
Okay, but what can I do for you, Jim?
Well, hey, I saw your house come off the market today, and it looks like a beautiful place. I was just wondering why you think it didn't sell.
Oh, the condo?
Yep.
The 3-bed, 2-bath condo. Yeah, I don't know. It's winter, so not a whole lot of buyers, I don't think. So,
Okay. So what was motivating you to sell in the first place, Eric?
well, we actually inherited the condo. My father passed away back in July, so he, just kind of inherited it. It's been vacant, sitting there, and we're paying HOA and property taxes and all that out of his estate and trust. And so just trying to, get that off our hands.
Gotcha. So what is that doing to you guys? I mean, the last 6 months paying HOA and taxes and everything else out of the estate.
I don't know, not much. I mean, it's just, it'd just be nice not to have to worry about that and everything. So a couple siblings that are all gonna get the money from it. And, so there's, I don't know, I guess the emotional aspect there. I'm the only one here in Fargo, so I kind of de facto end up being the one that handles everything with it, which I guess it doesn't really do much to us, but to me, it's just a distraction.
Yeah, that makes sense. Takes up a bunch of time, I'm guessing, with having to take care of everything.
Right. Yep. And then, yeah, just arranging everything with our realtor.
Definitely. So, I mean, we always say it's the price, condition, or marketing for reasons places didn't sell. I mean, is it one of those three that you think didn't sell?
Yeah, actually, I think it was probably priced too high. My two sisters were in with the meeting with the agent, and I think I don't know if she was just pricing it too high to increase her commission or what, but I mean, I think it was probably priced $20,000 or $30,000 high, I think.
Okay. Did you guys do any reductions at all?
Yeah, we did. I just don't think it was enough. I think it was priced too high over the summer when there would be more buyers. And then once winter hit, it's kind of that dead zone there. So.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. And then, yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys still need to sell. Is that right, Eric? Or?
Yes, Jim. Yep, we're definitely eager to get it sold. At least I am.
No, I'm sure. I mean, taking care of it takes a lot of time. And
Mhm.
what else has been happening? I mean, as far as pain points? I mean, it's taking all out of your time and energy. What else?
Well, I just don't think the realtor cares much because it's a $150,000 condo, and I don't know. I think she's got some higher end listings that she probably is more worried about.
So what all happened as far as marketing?
I don't know. It's on Zillow. I know that much, and they took some pictures and all that, but the usual. I think we had two open houses in the summer, and that's about it.
Okay. What would you have liked us on, Doug?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of how you sell it, right? Is with the throw it on Zillow and the MLS and um, I don't know. Open houses. I know it's a little more difficult in a condo with the entrance and getting attention there, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe some more price cuts in the summer to draw more attention and would have been the way to go.
Okay. So, Eric, are you interviewing other agents for getting this place sold since you still need to sell it?
Honestly, Jim, I didn't even know the contract expired, so I guess the agent doesn't really. That's kind of why I think she just didn't really give a crap about us at this price point. And I'm remembering now that it expired here the other day. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little mad about that she didn't call. So I haven't really put much thought into it. My sister knows the brother of this agent or something, so I'll have to convince them to interview other agents. I'm not impressed with it so far, and I think she's part-time. She does like teaching or something. I'd rather have someone who does this full-time.
Okay. So, I mean, Eric, it sounds like you need to sell and you need someone that does this full time. I mean, would it make sense to sit down and see what we can do differently for you and your family?
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. I'm ready to do that. Let's see. Well, so I'll have to talk to my sisters about it and get the heads up. I do have the power of attorney for my father, but
Okay.
they've been very involved with this, and since it's going to be divided amongst all three of us, they want to have a say in the price, but I think that's a little bit of BS just because they don't have to deal with all the crap I have to deal with, and I just want it off my hands.
Yeah, and I mean, the estate is dwindling while all the HOA fees and taxes and everything else are coming out. So there's always that give and take, right? Of we want to
Right.
get you the most price, or the highest price, excuse me, but we also have to be realistic and make sure that we get it sold so it's not costing you guys money in the long
Yeah.
run.
Yeah. Do you guys do 6% commission to sell a place?
We're usually not the cheapest, I'll be honest. We're usually in that 6.5 to 7%.
Okay.
But what we can do is show you how we can net you more money in the long run by getting it sold quicker.
Okay.
So what we normally recommend, this has been on the market now for 6 months. Let's take it off for at least 30 days. Let's set those days on market reset and come up with a really aggressive marketing plan so we get this sold quickly for you guys for top dollar.
Yeah, and you put it back up in the spring, or
We could look at stats. Let's see if it makes sense now. If it makes more sense in spring, let's look at it.
Okay.
See what makes more sense for you and the family.
Yeah, that sounds
Your
good.
sisters.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I would be interested in talking to someone. Would I be talking to you, Jim, or are you a listing agent?
So I'm going to have one of my listing agents meet with you. In fact, I'm going to send Sarah over to look at it. Is the lockbox still there? Property,
No. Well, I don't know. I haven't talked to our realtor since it expired. I didn't even know it expired. So
Okay.
yeah, it might be still there.
Okay. Well, we could work out details with Sarah as far as what time would work. But when is a good time for you to come in the office and sit down with Mark or Natalie or Rob and look at getting this listed?
I don't know. Is Sunday too quick here?
No, we could do Sunday.
Okay, let's shoot for Sunday afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, let me just look at my calendar. We could just pause there. Eric, I think you're probably too nice. That seemed like a little bit more of a layup.
Well, I mean, yeah, it needs to sell ASAP. Father passed away. Just want to see it off their hands. Yeah.
So here's my own personal feedback, and then I'll let you guys go. I personally hate the "I'll be honest" comment. So right when I said that, I cringed. That's just habit sometimes. I would have got rid of that. I also felt like I probably could have gone to the close a little sooner because there's that need, but I really wanted to build rapport and really pull out what those pain points were. He's sick of dealing with this for his time and everything else, and it's gotten long. And I mean, it's a constant reminder every time you go in there, right? It's a reminder that, hey, Dad's not here anymore. We didn't name that, excuse me, but that's the general assumption. Eric, what was your feedback for me?
I thought it was all good. This is a little. You never asked me what I did. Occupation for it. Didn't really get into that. So that would have been one way to build, rapport.
Yep.
I have a family of 3, or I don't know if that means 3 kids or not, but basically this is taking time away from family time. And I'm a busy guy, commercial banker. So this is a distractor, not just from my career, but also the family. So that could have been a little more digging into the pain points there. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good.
Nice. Cody, what was your feedback?
No, Eric kind of hit on the big one that I had, that we don't know anything about this guy outside of the pain points, but I think you did a really good job of diving into those pain points. So good there. One question and this is just a general question more than a critique.
Yeah.
Would it have made sense to, push that the sisters come to that listing consult as well, or is that not something you would have done?
If they're in town, and I should have gone deeper on that to find out, hey, are they in town? I believe, Eric, at one point you said they were not in town, so everything is on you, and that's why I didn't push for it. But yeah, I mean, if during that conversation I heard all 3 were in town, I always try to have all 3 there. So.
I was thinking it from the standpoint of, and this is just to echo off of Cody, is, if you can get all the stakeholders in one room, how can we help Eric convince his sisters that we are the right, decision rolling forward, or make this easier transition discussion for everybody. So I see where Cody was going with that, but.
Yeah, and ultimately, we're never going to have that convincing piece, but yeah, finding out up front, what was the relationship there with the realtor? Because yeah, it's hard if it's, the realtor is the best friend of someone. We know what to say in that regard, but yeah, it's always good to know who's going to be in the room and to win the room before we go in there. We have always talked about that in multiple situations. So that's good feedback. I like how you guys are pulling me on, or calling me on my own, not knowing anything about their family and not knowing anything about his occupation. I love it. So. Any other feedback you guys have?
I'm good.
So I had wrote down, Ryan, on your call, and it's something we need to talk about more and more the more that we do role play, and that is assumption can kill conversations. So the more that I had assumed, during this call, he's busy. I didn't ask. I should have had more of a conversation. What is he busy with? How is that affecting his job? How is it affecting his family here? And really asking questions is what we should be doing. We should never be assuming. Never assume emotion, never assume anything. Always ask.
Yeah, that's a solid one. Robbie catches me on that all the time. That's a big one. I'm very much at fault for that. I'm very guilty of that a lot.
Oh, we all are. I mean, all of us are. We do it with loved ones all the time, right? We always assume that way. Well, this is something to try to live by, not only with making calls, but in your personal lives as well. So with that, I mean, a couple of good points for expireds. Always find out their pain points. Always mirror and match. Always ask, how is that affecting you? How is it affecting you if your house didn't sell? How is it affecting you so you can't move on to your next stage in life? Things like that. Those are the 3 big points I have. Cody, got any other points?
No, I think you hit the big ones. Guys, what do you think? You guys got any other key takeaways with these expired calls?
Nope, nothing.
Nope. Good. It's all been said.
Right on. Well, with that being said, thank you for joining us. We're bringing this to you middle of the afternoon. We say 1:30, 1:35, but we're bringing it to you every day. We are the Leeds Geeks, signing out.